Hello, and thank you for coming today. My name is Braden Esquivel. I'm here today to speak from a personal experience about my own struggle stopping smoking cigarettes. Starting smoking for me began at a very young age. I think I was around 12 or 13 when I picked up my first cigarette. I was hanging around with older kids, and on the baseball field, I tried chewing tobacco because of the ease of being able to chew and still play with free hands, also at a very young age. As innocent as a plume of smoke with a white paper cigarette on a brown or tan filter looks, it's harboring over 200 harmful chemicals, and the secondhand smoke itself is toxic to humans. Furthermore, the smoke caused from exhaling the smoke is poisonous and stains the walls and absorbs into fabric, and over time those harmful chemicals accumulate, making cars or houses contaminated with toxic fumes. I quit a year after high school after trying to keep up in swimming with my non-smoking friends. I had noticed that my endurance was dramatically lower than it should have been, and I had made the conscious decision to quit smoking. After trying the smoking cessation gum to no avail, my doctor prescribed Zyban or Wellbutrin to help curb my craving for nicotine. The prescription worked marvelously. It made me, and still makes me, sick to my stomach when I get near someone who is smoking, and I can smell a smoker from a mile away now. It has made the smell a gag reflex and making sensation instead of a craving. Apart from the noticeably increased endurance I have noticed that I'm less tired than I usually am and more alert from stopping smoking at age 19, after 7 years of smoking, starting at the young age of 12 years old. Friends and fellow smokers I know have asked how I quit and how hard it was. I just tell them it was an easy decision with the aid of prescription Zyban, and describe my own dilemma with the smoking cessation gum not working properly and making my own craving for nicotine even worse than it felt like when I didn't have the nicotine with the gum. The age restriction on tobacco only helps the corporations sell more cigarettes because of the legal appeal of cigarettes to minors. This gets kids addicted at a young age and keeps a lifelong customer to the cigarette corporations. The tobacco plant itself is naturally carcinogenic, without the added radioactive fertilizer and the assortment of 200 plus harmful chemicals wrapped in bleach paper with a filter that only concentrates the poisonous chemicals that accumulate in the tip of the cigarette more efficiently and close to your mouth. Smoking cigarettes not only destroys the respiratory system, but also poisons the blood over time and causes massive damage to the heart, making the user at risk for assortment of cancers and disease. And the cigarette corporations put additional nicotine into cigarettes every year to get more people smoking, and those who are already addicted stay addicted to the nicotine. Nicotine is a stimulant similar to caffeine and is highly addictive with a withdrawal effect from cessation. This withdrawal effect makes the smoker agitated and moody when they are in need of a nicotine fix, and makes quitting a very difficult and annoying process that most smokers just ignore and keep smoking. The annual cost to the United States in terms of life loss and revenue spent with the healthcare costs associated with smoking is $96 billion. 444,000 Americans die each year from smoking. 8.6 million live with diseases or cancers that are associated with smoking, and 52,000 people die each year from secondhand smoking exposure. An interesting thought is our bodies are dying all around us, but are constantly being repaired by our cells. And about every 7 years, our bodies are essentially replace every organ and tissue with new tissue, making smoking an extreme health risk for cancer. But smoking cessation after 7 years, those damaged tissues and organs repair themselves to a more healthy life can be achieved. I have this video here between two cadavers' lungs. One, a healthy lung, this person not smoke at all, and one, a smoker. And each one is being inflated with air to see the elasticity of the lungs after smoking and before smoking. could see the blackened lungs compared to the healthy-looking red lungs, and the black lungs barely inflate. That's due to elasticity.
Pretty much. Alright, now try these ones. See how you're only getting part of the lungs inflating, they're not inflating as much. They're kind of shitty. Pretty much.
Thank you for coming today. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.